Hi, I'm First Alert Chief Meteorologist Stephen Bowers. Today, Sunday, December 21st, was the official beginning of winter. Doesn't really feel like it, though, does it? The winter solstice happened this morning at 8:03 a.m. The summer solstice is when the sun reaches its southernmost point in our sky. It's directly over the Tropic of Capricorn, and then in the summertime, it's directly over the Tropic of Cancer, as the tilt of the Earth kind of aims the Earth in different directions with respect to the sun on its revolution around our star at the center of our solar system. So with it being over the Tropic of Capricorn today, the solar energy is biggest over the southern hemisphere, and if you watch the sun throughout the year, you'll notice it has a drift toward the north, toward summer solstice, and toward the south, toward winter solstice. And today it reached that furthest south point. The days are going to gradually become longer, and the sun will gradually start working its way back to the north after today. Now, as I mentioned, it really doesn't feel much like winter, even though we have begun the official start of winter. We're expecting high temperatures at record territory on both Monday and Tuesday. I'm forecasting 60 degrees both days. Monday's 60-degree forecast would shatter the record high temperature of 54 degrees, and it would tie the record high of 60 degrees on Tuesday. We'll back off out of record territory from Wednesday on. However, we're also going to turn a little bit more unsettled, especially from Wednesday night on through Christmas Day and into Friday. So yes, there is some rain in our Christmas Day forecast. No snow for us in the valleys is expected, but there can be some snow up on the mountains. Now, in Grand Junction, we have had new snow just 38 Christmases, all the way back to 1893, and it was actually enough that we were able to measure it. So more than a dusting of snow fell on 19 different occasions on Christmas Day, and only 4 times have we gotten at least an inch of snow, which is how we define a white Christmas. The record snowiest Christmas was 10 years ago, in 2015, when 5.7 inches of snow fell. You can see on this map, the farther south we are in the country, the less likely white Christmases are, and the farther north we are, the more likely they are. Specifically here in Colorado, they're most likely up in the mountains, where you see the white and the lighter shades of blue. That's where we have 75 to near 100% probabilities of a white Christmas. But you see here in the Grand Valley and down Highway 50, through Delta, Montrose, even down to around Nuclear and the Four Corners, we're generally looking at less than about a 25% probability of a white Christmas here in the valleys. About our temperatures, we're going to be warm this year for sure. We've had some chilly Christmases in the past couple of years, especially before last year when we hit 51 degrees for the high, 35 degrees was the low. That low was actually closer to the normal low, 37 degrees. 16 degrees is our normal low temperature, and we won't be anywhere near that this year. The record high, though, is 60 degrees. That was set back in 1971. The coldest Christmas temperature on record was 17 below zero. And that was 101 years ago, in the year 1924. This Christmas, again, we do expect some rain, occasional rain, so a wet Christmas more than a white Christmas. That high temperature will be near 56 degrees around Grand Junction, and lower middle 50s will be common here across the rest of the western slope as well. So cooler 40s are expected up in the mountains, but look east of the mountains, from the Front Range out to the southeastern plains especially. High temperatures there are going to be in the 60s and 70s. Springfield could make a pass at 80 degrees on Christmas morning. Now on Sunday afternoon, we've got a streak of moisture coming in off the Pacific Ocean. That's called an atmospheric river. It's loaded with water, and there's a lot of water dumping into Northern California and parts of Oregon, and that means an unsettled end to the week for us. Now watch our future cast between Sunday night through Monday through Tuesday. All of this stays well to our west. Now our future cast is going to stop right here at 11 a.m. Wednesday. That's as far out as the high resolution version of our future cast runs at this point. But I'm going to switch this to the long-range version, and you'll see that Wednesday itself becomes showery at night, and then we have on and off rain on Christmas, perhaps some snow over the mountains, especially the high peaks, but it's Friday when we have the biggest potential to get some snow up on the mountains. You see in the valleys, that little streak of green right along Highway 50 right there. That's more indicative of rain for us in the valleys. I still wouldn't be surprised to see this change to some snow first thing Saturday morning. It may be brief, but it is a possibility. Now, for our Monday, we're going to start with morning lows in the lower and middle 30s here across the western slope, and high temperatures are going to be in the lower and middle 60s. Again, this is likely record-breaking warmth. Cooler 40s and 50s are expected in the higher elevations. Here's the 7-day forecast. It's a mild one. Grand Junction sees highs close to 60 degrees on Monday and Tuesday. We back off to lower and middle 50s Wednesday through Friday, and then 40s finally arrive over the weekend. That still is pushing about 10 degrees above normal for this time of year, and our lows in the 30s and 40s are certainly way above normal. In Montrose, lower 60s are in the forecast for both Monday and Tuesday, with low to mid-50s Wednesday through Friday. Some cooler mid-40s are in the forecast over the weekend, but again, that still is unseasonably warm. Morning lows are in the mid to upper 30s most mornings, even 40s on Christmas morning itself. Lower 60s are in the forecast for you in Delta, with mid to upper 50s Wednesday through Friday. Upper 40s are in the forecast this weekend, with 30s to lower 40s for those morning lows. And Cortez, we're looking at lower 60s for your Monday and Tuesday, with low to mid 50s Wednesday through Friday. Upper 40s are in the forecast this weekend, with 20s and 30s for those morning lows. So that's the next 7 days. This is the next 6 to 10 day outlook, which takes us up through the end of the year. It covers December 27th through the 31st, and we're leaning strongly in favor of above normal temperatures. There are 3 different shades of red. They're kind of hard to make out, but they correspond to varying probabilities that we will be above normal with our temperatures. And most of us on the western slope are in the 70% category, and still in the 60% category in the 8 to 14 day forecast, which runs December 29th through January the 4th. Now, the rainfall outlook is a little bit healthier. We need the moisture for sure, and with 40 to 50% odds, we're leaning in favor of above normal potential for precipitation from December 27th through the 31st, and we'll keep it at about 40%, leaning in favor of above normal precipitation potential from December 29th through January the 4th. So that's kind of where we're going right now, and it's a lot of warmth, unseasonable warmth for at least the next 2 weeks. And even beyond that, we don't see any solid signal that there's going to be any appreciable change in that particular area of the forecast in terms of the temperatures. But some much needed moisture could fall here over the next week to 2 weeks, and that certainly is something that we will be looking forward to.